Hello and welcome to Alumilite. I'm Jake and I do a live show every Saturday called Saturday Morning Cartoons on my channel. I'm sure there'll be links below, maybe even some coupon codes that you can see. Come and follow me over there. I've been with Alumilite for a long time doing videos and using their products. On the show that I talked about, we do Alumilite Clear Slow all the time and they have water clear also. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna see what the difference is. As always, safety first. I have gloves, glasses, I have a well-ventilated area. I'll be safe in my shop, you be safe in your shop. This stuff does not have a smell to it, to me. And I'm gonna be talking today, so I'm not gonna have a respirator on, but when you're in your own home, please be safe in your own home, and I'll be safe in mine. I think the first thing we need to know is these are urethanes, not epoxies. And there's a bunch of differences, and on Alumilite's channel, they have some good videos on what the difference is, goes into great detail. I'm not gonna do this here today, but I will show you what I know. There's certain rules that you need to know about the urethanes. And first is, you need to weigh them by weight, not volume. So when you're getting your mixtures ready, it's gonna go by weight. It says it right here on the label, go by weight, not volume. And I'm gonna prove it to you right here, right now. I'm gonna put a line on these and then we're gonna weigh them. The level is right here on this one and right here on this one. And even the bigger ones are gonna be more pronounced. So that proves that. We're gonna go ahead and weigh them now. This is part A, 492, part B, 501, pretty close. We'll do the clear slow also. Part A, 495. 491, that is very, very close. And if that's not good enough, let's do the big ones. 3743 and 3777, so 30 grams. Between this and this is only 30 grams. That's pretty good, but that should prove on the levels on this, it goes by weight. I get that asked more than anything. Let's move on to the next thing. As you can see back here, I have a whole line of pressure pots. I use this resin all the time. There's no negotiating. You have to use a pressure pot with this, and I'm gonna prove this on one of the projects that we do today. The next thing is moisture. Urethanes do not like moisture, and I'm gonna prove it right here. Here is a clean cast right here. I got the moisture off that wood before I casted it, and this one I did not. You can see the white over here, and here. Looks like it's moldy or whatever. That is moisture. I did not heat this up before I casted it, and that's why it has the moisture in it. And in case you can't really tell the difference on that, I did a more extreme example. And this was moisture. I just poured some water in there. That's what it looks like on extreme cases. If you have some wood or something that you're trying to submerge in resin and it has moisture on it, it's gonna look like that, and there's nothing you can do about it. Moisture. Urethanes don't like it. The next thing with these resins or any other epoxies or anything you're gonna use, one of the things you're gonna need to know is the working times on it. Clear Slow has 12 minutes and Water Clear has 15 minutes. The caveat is if you want good color separation, you need to pour at a certain temperature. Now this works for Alumilite Clear Slow and for Water Clear, but any other resins or epoxies, I don't know. You're gonna have to experiment for yourself. 105 degrees is gonna create good color separation for these resins, and now we're gonna prove it right now. 325A and 325B in grams. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start mixing this. These are slick cups on the inside. There's no ribs or anything. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. And I'm gonna use silicone spatulas so that you can get the sides and get the bottom and everything's gonna get mixed in well. I'm gonna mix these for 2.5 or 3 minutes before we mix it into color. We pour it into the color. So we're gonna do the same project, but this one for Clear Slow is gonna be blue and the other one's gonna be green, and that'll become clear here in a second. One thing we need to talk about while I'm mixing this, we're 2.5 minutes, so about half a minute or so. The temperature in your room means a lot. So mine right now is 72 degrees. And that's pretty good. So it should be pretty close to the working time that's on the containers. This is 12 minutes. So we'll be close to that when we hit that 105 degree temperature. But if you're hotter than that in your shop, it's going to be way quicker. If you're colder, it's going to take way longer. If it's too cold, it may not even kick off at all. So make sure that you know that before you go into this. The temperature in your room does make a big difference in this. We're in about 3 minutes. I'm very, very confident that this is mixed up well. I'm gonna pour this evenly into these 4 containers. If you have one that has a bunch and one that doesn't have very much, they're gonna get hot at a different rate of time. So by the time we get into this, one's gonna be 100, one's gonna be 95. We want them all to be the same so that the color separation is the best it can be. We're pretty close, 98 degrees. That's pretty close. So as soon as it gets to 100, I'm gonna start getting things ready to pour. And then by the time we actually pour, it'll be about 105 and it'll be good to go. So there's 12 minutes. And depending on the temperature in your room, it's gonna be about right or pretty close at least. The other thing is what we're gonna do is here's a fun funnel. And you see people make the nice swirls all the time and everything, and it's hard to do. This is just a funnel that leaks. Look at that. So we're gonna do it like this. This is a good equalizer for new resin casters. Here we go, it's this easy. Kind of run it through there, turn it. Go some more. This will be super cool. You don't need to swirl this after. A lot of times you'll pour your resin in there and then you'll get a little stick and move it around, and yeah, you don't need to do that with this. It's gonna be fantastic. Pretty cool. I think we're about done messing with this. Get it in the pressure pot. Now we're gonna do the same exact thing with the water clear, but this one's gonna have green dyes in it, mica powders and dyes in it, and that's gonna be the water clear one. So let's get started on this one. So 12 minutes. It's really not far off of what the clear slow was doing. 101. It's ready to go right now. But I do think this will go to a higher temperature before it solidifies, so I'm not that scared. Oh, that's already pretty cool. So just go back and forth and spin the cup every once in a while. These are going to be fantastic. Seems to be maybe a little bit thinner viscosity. It seems like it's going through the cup a little bit better. We're gonna do one more experiment, 2 more experiments. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some bottle stoppers, some hybrid bottle stoppers. They're gonna be super cool. And the orange is gonna be the clear slow, and these are actually purple dyed, but they're more of a natural color. The purple dyed ones are gonna be the water clear. And then I'm also fill up a cup and it's gonna go in the pressure pot, and I'm also gonna fill up another cup and it's gonna not go in the pressure pot. Now at the end of this, we're gonna see that it's mandatory to have pressure pots. So let me get to mixing this stuff. I'm gonna do it all at the same time. These little cups are marked CS, if you can see that. So for clear slow, and these are marked WC for water clear. This is stabilized wood that has been in the oven, so we don't have to worry about surface moisture. It's dye stabilized, so it's pretty cool. This is the clear slow again. This little piece right here is just holding that piece down so it don't float. I'll try to divvy these up evenly. One will go in the pressure pot, one will not. Here's the water clear. Hopefully these things don't float, but we'll see. I think that's gonna work out pretty well. We'll take 2 of these. One of the water clears is gonna stay over here, and one of the clear slows. These 2 cups will go in here with this. Let's go. The 2 differences on these labels is 12-minute working time, 15-minute working time, 2 to 3 hour demold on the water clear, and 4-hour demold on the clear slow. If I have smaller stuff, I'll go to the full 4 hours, but it's usually about 2 hours. When I do the show afterwards, 2 hours later, comes out. So in a couple hours, we'll go ahead and see what the results are. This is 3 hours later. I kind of split the difference, and I got some hearing protection on. I'm gonna do this and let the air out of here. All right, let's take a look at this. One thing you're gonna notice that I'm wearing gloves. This is still not cured. It's able to be taken out of the pressure pot, but it's not cured. So there's still some chemical reaction going on. If you touch this with your hands and touch your eyes, it's going to burn your eyes. So here's the water clear green. Look how cool that is. Here's our clear slow blue. They both look really good. Here's our bottle stoppers. These look really good. I'm about to cut these up. I'm going to turn these bottle stoppers and we're going to see what it really looks like. We're going to show that at the end. So stay tuned till the end. One thing I did do when I first did this originally, I just mixed them both at the same time. And I actually went 16 minutes on the water clear, and I have some blanks. And they are right here. It was at 112 degrees. And I really think it's because the temperature in the shop was at 72. I've done this before and it was at 68, and it took way longer to get up to 105. So I really think the temperature in the shop makes a very, very big difference on how this reacts. So I'll let you see this right here. Check it out right here when I actually made these, and it kind of surprised me it got hot that fast. Now back to our water clear. It's 16 minutes and hopefully we haven't gone too far. I don't think we will. 112, that's not good. Hold on. Oopsie. This is super hot, and hopefully I didn't mess it up. I might have to redo this whole video. The other thing we did right now was to show you the difference between pressure pot and not a pressure pot. Here is the clear slow, pressure pot, and not a pressure pot. And here's the water clear with pressure pot and not a pressure pot. This has at least twice as many bubbles as the clear slow. If that means anything, I don't know, but just an observation. So the argument, you could probably put these in a vacuum chamber and get some bubbles out of it, but as soon as you pour them, they're going to do that. They're going to get bubbles in it, because that's just part of how this works. You're going to have the bubbles in there. So pressure pot, this has to have a pressure pot. No negotiations. So in the meantime, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to cut these blanks so you can see the swirls. I'm going to turn these and actually have them finished and polished and everything. You see how clear these are? And through the magic of editing, and I'm back. I finished all this stuff. I'm going to show you everything and explain my final thoughts at the end. But if you've learned anything so far, subscribe to Alumilite's channel, go down, click the like button, and come and see me on my channel. Now let's get to the results. First thing we're going to talk about is clarity. And I have these that I did in the pressure pot, and that's going to be a good way to tell. Here they are. We already established that we need a pressure pot. Look at all those bubbles. So let's get rid of these. These are where we're going to concentrate. This one is water clear. This one is clear slow. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a winner, and it's this one. And if this one wasn't next to the clear slow, you would never know. This looks very, very, very clear. This one is a little more clear. We can see the clarity in a cup with nothing else in there, but how about in a project? Can we tell the difference? Let's look. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. And this one is too. If you didn't already know which one was which, would you know that this is clear slow and this is water clear? I'm not so sure. I'm here in person, not on cameras and everything, but I couldn't tell the difference. They're both fantastic. And the other thing we need to talk about is most of the stuff that I do is so people can turn it on the lathe. So now we need to know, does this sand and polish the same? I couldn't tell the difference. And maybe the water clears a little bit, maybe a tiny bit softer, but not enough that there's a difference, or there's going to be I'm going to pick one over the other because of the difference in sanding and polishing. I spent the same amount of time on these. They're both the same amount of fantastic. So polishing or how they act on the lathe is the same. Tie. People use their resin castings for a lot of different things. Mine is for turning, like I said, and I want good color separation. I want all the swirls. I want them to be defined. And let's see if there's a difference between these. Here's the clear slow. There's obvious color separation. They are fantastic. So I have these 4 exact different colors. There's no problem. Poured at 105. I do this all the time, so I know exactly what this is going to do. This did not surprise me. And here's the water clear. And I don't think there's much difference. The color separation is there. It's all good. Just 4 separate colors. It is all good. Now the temperature was 105 on both of these. We did have another thing that we did, and we did these kind of on accident. These were poured at like a 112 to 116, depending on which color it was, and I'm not seeing any problems. The color separation is good. There's 4 different colors. It's all good. So I'm not saying that a little bit higher temperature won't work. I'm just used to doing at 105 so much that I have that in my head for this, but maybe this temperature is 110 or 112 or even 115. It's a little more less viscosity or a thinner viscosity, so maybe you can go longer with it. But 105 is what I'm used to, so it's hard to break habits. But these were the ones that I thought I might have messed up. They went in the pressure pot. They did just fine. There's no bubbles or anything. If anything surprised me about this whole thing, it would be that the temperature rise faster in the water clear. I've poured at 68 or 69 degrees in this shop, and it took at least 15 minutes for it to get up to the 105. I did it here is 15, 16 minutes, and it was already 110, 112, 116. It was already pretty hot with just like a 3 or 4 degree difference in the room. So if there was anything that surprised me, it was that. I think the water clear is more susceptible to the temperature in your room. Very, very important. If you're looking for a longer working time, you're kind of not going to get it if you're hot in your shop. So if you have about 70, 68 degrees, you're going to have plenty of time to do this. And on that same token, the clear slow is the same. It's susceptible too, but I don't think it makes as big a difference as it does in the water clear. Now to sum all this up, I think if you're going to do exactly just clear stuff like this, you're going to submerge maybe objects into the resin, trinkets, and you just want exact clear, and then you're going to turn it. The water clear, I think, is what you're going to use it for. I was thinking with the extra working time, you could do more colors. On the show, I do 12 colors all the time with clear slow, and it's no problem. So I was thinking that you could get more colors if you have the water clear, but I was kind of proven wrong today. So the stuff that we do on the cartoons every Saturday with clear slow, I don't think there would be any reason for me to change it. But if I wanted the exact clarity and submerging something, then the water clear would be another choice. Once again, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Come over and visit me on my channel. Maybe check out some coupon codes and stuff. And we'll see you next time. Y'all be good.